and welcome to WRPB Studios and our podcast room. And I have a room full of people who don't know how not to play around. Okay? They come here. It's a party for them. They come here, they bring food, come here to hang out, talk. So with me.
I thought that's what it was all about, man.
That's what it is. And we're going to do this like telephone. This is a lot easier. So I'm going to introduce Nick from Port St. Lucie Business Club. And he was here with us last week, I guess.
Yeah.
And today we're going to do, with our extra guest, we're going to do, is your networking networthy?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you can introduce and we'll go around.
Absolutely. Thank you, Wayne. It's so good to be here. I'm Nicholas with the Port St. Lucie Business Club. And this is going to be an exciting discussion. And I would like to introduce Sammy.
Hi, guys. Sam Brinkley. You may know me around town and with some of the different groups and stuff, but I'm very active. Love it, love it, love it. I'm glad we're here. Glad we got a really good topic today to talk about, and we're just going to kind of kick it around a little bit, but we're wanting to make sure that if you're any networking out there doing, making sure that's networthy and that's worth your time so you don't waste your time doing the networking. And I'm happy to introduce my real good friend to my left, Mr. Ezekiel, who is, can I say?
The founder.
Founder of Magnum. Yeah, founder. Go ahead, sir.
Yep. So, thanks, Sammy. And I'm happy to be here. Yes, I am the founder of Magnum Motivational Group. Make sure you check us out on Facebook, and we're in the community. I'm happy to be here and talk about this important subject because I actually never have networked before and have learned a lot just in 6 to 8 months I've been doing it. So I'm happy to share all the insights I've learned and making sure, I guess it's a cliche at this point in life, but making sure your network is your net worth. And I think it's a really important thing to learn. So happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Why did you start Magnum? If
So
you knew nothing, why did you start something that you knew nothing? And I go because it's run really, really well. But why did you start it?
So going around to different networking events, I saw a need for someone of our age group, I guess I would say.
Right. Don't push it there. Our age group. You're not our age. You're not my age group.
To have something different. Also to add a piece that I felt like was missing in the networking events that I went to, which is a motivational piece, which was building people up before we just start trying to sell our products. And so that's the model that we have, and also to mix a little bit of personal growth with business growth. A lot of people like to separate it all the time. And so what we've tried to do and what we've done and has been successful is have some a personal touch to business, and that's where Magnum came from. And Magnum, many people don't understand what Magnum stands for, but it does stand for Millennial and Gen Z Networking and Motivation. So
how about old people? You have to put a B in there for baby boomers.
Right, we didn't say you weren't welcome. We just said
we'll start we'll call it Geezer.
Yeah.
Networking.
Right, old Geezer networking.
Well, one thing that I think Ezekiel has done that's unique to all of the networking groups or in the area is he's brought this motivational element to networking, and
absolutely,
it's gotten to a point where when you have a Monday morning and there's not a Magnum event that day, it's sort of like I wanted to start the week with some motivation, some energy. He brings this energy, and his team brings this energy to the room, and so it's a fantastic way to start the week. And I really think that was innovative for you to bring that motivational element to business networking.
Well, appreciate that.
I mean, I went and. Most of my people know me for a long time. I didn't get thrown out, so it's a great group. It's early yet.
We're voting tonight.
My best. But you know what? If Sam hasn't gotten thrown out, I'm not going to get thrown out.
Easy,
so
easy.
Sam networks almost everywhere I network too, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, one of the things I want to talk about him too, though, is he not only talks about business, but every one of his guests that come, they talk about uplifting. They talk about your inner self, your mental health, your well-being, because that's a super important part of going out and networking, because we get so stressed out, and it's so nice to have a place that puts that first versus, hey, let me tell you what I want to sell you. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, but yeah, we definitely go, you and I are just about every group together.
Right. Yeah, it's interesting what I learned about networking. Okay? So somebody told me, a basketball player who's retired at this point, he said, if you want to network, and I don't buy into this, don't go to a networking group. Mm-hmm. Go to a gala. Because everybody in a gala has a ton of money and doesn't want anything from you. Okay? And that makes sense, but I find that if you don't network, in networking, people learn to trust you. Okay, and they get to see you over and over again,
Build relationships.
and they know how to find you, and you build that relationship. I know that I do a lot of networking as much as I can remember, and I remember going to, I guess it was Nick's second event, right, at the Crepe Place.
The Crepe Place, yep.
And I was like, yeah, I don't know. This is a bit much for me, because a lot of people in a small space at that point. And if you know anything about Port St. Lucie, from Gatlin Boulevard to where his event was, which was 1 block, that would take 4 hours. Okay, the rest of the trip took 10 minutes, and but you end up getting to another place. The 2 events at the other place, which is St. Lucie Lanes,
and he's knocking it out of the park.
Right,
Yeah.
but then you went back.
Yes, back to the Crepe Place.
But then he went back to the Crepe Place, but he did it outside along with canned pizza.
Right,
That was
and
cool.
It was perfect. It was just perfect. You were there.
Yes. Absolutely.
You were there.
I was unable to make it, but I've heard every single time
I
Nick
don't
knocks
know
it out
who's
of the
where.
park.
The outdoor
There's
venue was
nothing
really
even-
nice.
yeah.
That was a stressful one to put together.
Plus,
We
it's
didn't
nice
know
and
if that was
cool.
going to
The
work.
evening worked out nice.
Yeah, we really were hoping for good weather. We got good weather, but that could have easily
Right.
turned bad pretty quickly having an outdoor event.
So let's go back to Magnum for a second, because I need to learn, because I don't really belong there because I'm old. But
Not
Oh,
true.
what a-
Not
Do you have
true
a
at all.
senior division?
yeah,
Maybe that should be the next step.
yeah.
You're the next presenter
Yeah.
for seniors.
But over and above that, I know that it's very hard to have a job, work, run your business, whatever you want to call it, spend time with family,
Right.
do the personal things you need to do, and then run a networking thing.
Right.
And I think that it kind of piles on you, and you got to say, hey, I got to walk away for a bit, and can someone else take over?
That's exactly what happened. You just hit the nail on the head, which was, when you first get into it, you don't know what you're getting into,
Right.
unless you've done it many, many times over, and I hadn't. And so, as much as I love helping the community, bringing business owners together, and networking and building a community, it comes to a point where you have to say, am I going to continue to be successful at it? And if you don't have the time, you don't have the energy to put into it and continue to put into it, then you know it's not going to be successful. So I've decided to pass the baton to Tiffany Everett. Thank you so much for taking it on and making it something even bigger and better than what I've done. So absolutely, you're absolutely right. You got to know, and I have a job. I'm an insurance agent, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I think I was sharing with Nick the intricacies of writing policies. I don't think people know that as an insurance agent. There's several different forms you have to fill out, and then I'm not just out selling people or getting business. I actually have to go back home and write the business, and so it's that, or keeps putting all of my energy and time into the networking thing. And so as much as I'm going to help be a part of it and support Magnum and Port St. Lucie Business Club and other networking events, I've chosen to step down as the head of Magnum. So
You write all these insurance things.
Right.
I just want you to know that none of us ever read them.
I know.
If you think we're reading them, you're crazy.
I know.
Okay? And it's really sad, because the situation is, and I'm going to speak for you, Ezekiel, if you have insurance, you should definitely contact you to go over their policy.
Right.
Because you're silly enough to read it. Okay? Because you know what you're reading.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
We have zero clue. So I always say, and I say it in all my things, always use a professional.
Right.
Okay? If you're going to buy insurance online, you're crazy. Okay? Three-quarters of the things you buy, if you buy it online, you're crazy. You really need that face-to-face. And again, even Sam, I can go on to Amazon and buy a copier. Sam does copiers. Okay? But what do I do when it's not working? What do I do when I have to figure out how to use it?
Well, the old adage is they'll give you the copier, just buy the cartridges. Because once you go buy the cartridges for $250 every time you buy them, and you're doing that once a month, now you're all of a sudden you got a free copier, but you're paying for these cartridge costs, and you have no service. So people just don't realize.
And the personal service is so, so important.
Yeah.
Now, Nick's a different story, because you're already in marketing. So starting a networking thing kind of goes with the flow, but you didn't know you were going to be thrown into doing live stuff.
No, I never expected to do in-person events, live streams, any of this. But thanks largely to Danny, who's joining us on the live stream. Danny was
what's up, D?
What's up,
what's
Danny?
up, Danny?
He was the one that said, "Hey, let's bring everyone together." Thankfully, we had that Crate Place support us early on, and so it was just the perfect timing where we had a group of motivated business folks on Facebook, and we had a venue that was willing to support us, and we had Danny who wanted to bring all the pieces together, and one thing led to the next, and now we're in this world where we do 1 to 2 live events every single month.
And now,
and if you haven't came to those events, you're missing out.
Right, because you won't get your penis pillow.
FOMO. Yeah, oh God,
Just
please
saying.
don't start with that.
But and now you come to me and you say, "Hey, can we do a podcast? Can we do it live?" And the truth of the matter is, surely we have the facility, but the only reason that this comes together is because of Edgar, because he figures the stuff out that I can't figure out, and that's what makes things work. Because you can't do everything.
Right.
So, like, Nick is blessed because his wife does 99% of the work. Just saying.
It's true.
Okay.
True that.
I would not be doing any of this.
That's right. And I get it. And my wife surely keeps things in order for me. You have to have family support.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And family doesn't always have to be blood.
Right.
But
and I want to take a minute, and I apologize.
No,
I need to take a minute and say thank you to the Magnum team that started with me from the beginning. It wasn't just me. I mean, I may have been the founder, got everything started, and did most of the back end things. But Dawn Cushing, couldn't have done it without her. James DeRulis, Ben McKenna. We had a couple other people that on the team, and obviously the team is switching around because of new leadership. But definitely want to say thank you to the Magnum family. So
is that Ben? Is that the Ben I know?
Ben with
Rich Cap
Roofing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Young kid.
Great guy.
Yeah.
Actually, when you're in a group, I know people get mad when I say this, but you can't like everybody.
Right.
But you got such a good, tight-knit group, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And it's very intimate.
Right.
Okay? Nick's group is not intimate. It's a lot of people.
But you got such a
and you... Excuse me?
Sorry.
Yeah, but the difference is we
share it out. Right?
we shoot for about 25 people per event,
right?
Because we want that intimate, and because of the model, right? The personal development,
right?
To have 50 people trying to help people grow personally and business, it gets a little mixy. But you got to remember, Nick's is about it's a bigger picture.
Nick's event is done for networking,
right?
Okay,
right.
You're a specific event to network.
Correct.
Get people to meet as many people as you can, okay, and kind of connect in any way possible. It's you in yours, and this is just my opinion.
Right.
It's I don't need a bunch of people. You guys connect tight, personally, and whatever.
Right.
I met great people at your last event, and ironically enough, I met somebody who we're working with already, and he sent me Mariano. Okay, the watch aficionado, and he came in here, and he's a great guy.
Oh yeah.
And I know that working together with people who do the same thing is a great thing, because Mariano came in here, and he works with somebody else, and those people sent him here because we're doing other stuff for them.
Right.
Okay, and that's why when I get on a tangent, and I won't get on it about one-offs. I believe that if you can't work with other people in your industry, then something's wrong.
Yeah.
It's just not right.
Well, another thing too, and guys, I think the overall thing you want to try to take away from us talking about this is, where do you want to spend your time? What groups do you want to pick, and what groups do you want to do that's going to best benefit you and what you're trying to accomplish? Right. Because I think the most important thing is we all have FOMO, fear of missing out. If I'm not there, I'm not being seen. You and I had a conversation about this, how some people get addicted to networking.
Oh, yeah.
And they
Absolutely.
go and they love to be seen and hug and kiss. And the problem is you neglect your business, and you neglect why you're there. And that's one of the reasons I want to talk about what we were talking about today, so that we say, what is your look on this, and your look on this, and your look on this, of how do you determine what's going to be best for you? What group? Because there's 50 on the Treasure Coast, and they're growing every day. How do you determine what's going to be best for you?
There's a lot of different groups. That's what I think is really unique about the Treasure Coast. is that back in South Florida, every networking event, for the most part, felt like it was the same. You go in, you pass out your business cards, and that's it. Here we're talking about Magna Motivational, which has the motivational element. Port St. Lucie Business Club, where we try to make it fun. And then we haven't even talked about netwalking.
I was just
we're going to talk about that.
Which is a whole other way.
Right. Well, when
so innovative, right?
When I was in real estate in Jersey, we picked where we're going to go by what food is going to be there. Okay. Just say it. And we still do that because I say if you want to have a successful network event, give the people music, food, and booze.
Right.
3 pieces you definitely need. And the cool thing was you started at the Crate Place, no booze.
Right.
Okay? But now you put Bonner Bar was there, so there was alcohol for people. There was food from the Crate Place and Camp's Pizza. And though you didn't have like music entertainment, you had a photo booth.
We were supposed to have music, by the way. We were going to have a live saxophone player, but it just didn't work out at the last minute.
But you had a photo booth.
We did. We had
which was really kind of cool.
Next time, just plug up your phone, bro. Bluetooth.
Yeah.
Put some musical element on there.
When it comes to different type of networking, which I'm going to feed off of what you said, we have this part, that part, this part, that part, and then someone has to come up with something different that's going to make it really difficult for me, and that was what Sam is doing. So tell us what you're doing networking-wise.
Well, mine is going to be extremely intimate in the fact that the people that come to netwalking, and the way I came up one day is I decided, okay, I want to try to start losing some weight. So I'm going to run out to Traditions Lake and put my headphones in. I was walking around the lake, and I did my second or third lap, and I thought, I said, this is such a cool thing to do, but it'd be so much better to talk to somebody while you're doing it. Make it go by faster. You wouldn't think you're going as long. So I said, you know what? I said, and that day, and I actually called it something else. I didn't call it netwalking. I called it fellowship walking or something like that. And then I spoke to Nick, who came out the very first time, and he said, why don't we rename it? And he said something, like netwalking. I said, boom. Next week, I didn't even tell him. I changed to netwalking. He goes, that's my name. That's my name. I said, sorry, dude, it works.
I'll send you the invoice.
Not copywritten. Sorry. Ricky Bobby Inc.
So, I mean, I was concerned
TM
because of my breathing issues, but you brought me to a comfortable spot by saying, Wayne, if you can't walk as fast as us, we're going to slow down. Okay? We're all going to stay on the same pace, and we're all going to look out for one another. So tomorrow morning, I'm going to get up early, find my way.
Are you committing?
Yeah.
Oh, everybody heard that. Everybody heard that.
Unless
he's committing to being there.
But I'm definitely going to commit.
That's awesome.
That's the caveat. Something.
So we're going to meet at Panera Bread, and I'm hoping to do 1 lap for me.
Okay.
And then go to the bagel place. Just saying.
You can bring the bagel and cream cheese with you.
Danny will go with you.
I met him there.
You said I'll have a push cart with food. I'll have some music playing, and then I'll have some booze. So that way it'll be a networking event.
Well, I will definitely need to consider bringing water with me.
Of course. Well, everybody does.
Do they?
Yeah. Let me tell you how it goes. We had, I think, 8 to 10 or something last week, and we go in groups of 2, but we walk in a row, so we're all together, and we kind of counterclockwise where everybody else does, so that we don't have to come up on people, and the whole group have to get around other people that are slower or whatever. So, but we walk in 2s, and then that gives everybody ample time to talk. And I'm not talking about business. I'm talking about doing burpees, blurpees, selling whatever. You're just there communicating with another human being. Right. So we go about a half a mile, and I call out, and then the first person in the front goes to the back, and everybody shifts up, and so everybody gets a new person to talk to.
Oh, like speed dating.
Kind of, but it's slow. And you don't. And the thing about
slow
it is,
dating.
You're not there to talk about anything but what you want. You may want to talk about your kids. You may want to talk about networking. You may want to talk about the new Dave and Buster's that's coming in. Whatever it is, it's your choice to talk about what you want. You're not there pressured to.
How often do you switch?
I do that every half mile. So you're going to switch. You'll talk to every single person that's there.
That's interesting.
So that it gives you a chance to share your thoughts. And honestly, a lot of people start talking about their business because that's where it goes when they communicate. Right. But when you leave there, I mean, we've had people that stopped to take our picture at a bridge that joined our group.
Yeah.
Wow. Nick and I were going to bring like cases of water and sell them.
Yeah, well, don't do that because you'll have to carry it.
Just to catch everyone up, because we do have a lot of people joining all of a sudden on the live. So want to say hi to Phil. Want to say hi to Ben. Ben's here. Also check out Sales Training Cage Match, which Ben puts on every other Thursday.
What's up, Ben?
Fantastic, Ben.
What's
Desiree
up?
is here. What's up, Desiree?
What's up, Des?
Tasha is here.
Desiree was there last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It says cart girl. I guess that has something
No,
to do with it.
What's that?
Cart girl, I guess she's selling drinks off a cart.
Cart girl.
Because she works for the golf course now.
Oh, for the water.
Well, she
For the water.
works in conjunction with the golf course now because she's doing marketing for them.
Oh, okay.
So thank you everyone for joining us. And just to recap what we're talking about net walking, which happens every Saturday, 8 o'clock. It's free. Sammy puts it on in tradition. All you have to do is show up at the Panera Bread parking lot in tradition and do 1 lap, do 2, do 3. It's a great way to connect.
And we get it done early, so because we know everybody's got weekend stuff they got to do. So we do it at 8, and if you're done, by 1 lap, 2 lap, or 3, we stand there and talk, so we're there till 10 o'clock. But most of the people can get in, get out, and go do their family stuff because the weekend is your time. That's one more business thing you have to do. But can I tell you what? You walk 3.5 miles, and I'm telling you, Nick will tell you, and everybody else will tell you, you don't even realize you're doing it because you're communicating and having a good time talking to people.
And I'm sorry.
My bad. I just want to add to the fact that I guess me and Nick's model was to, or my model. I don't know, and you can either back me up or say you agree or disagree or whatever. But my model for networking was not to always think about business when you think about networking, right? I'm not always going there to sell my business. Maybe I make a friend. Maybe there's nothing that I can do to help you be successful in your business, but to just be your friend and be a phone call for you to call. Let's say I met Nick at a networking event, and I never was able to send him any business for 2 years, but 2 years later, he breaks down on the side of the road, and he remembers the friendship we built, and he can call me and say, hey, I need a ride. I got a tire bone out, right? So I think the mentality of always thinking that networking is to go and sell business is just a little outdated. And so I think me and Nick and I are trying to penetrate that a little bit and change that just a little bit. We're not trying to reinvent the wheel, but just add a little bit more value to networking. That's all.
I think, Sammy, your thing is the same thing.
Well, and his, I'm sorry, it's a little bit.
Okay.
My apologies. But
that's
yes, netwalking is the same thing.
I just graduated Martin County Leadership.
I need money.
Congrats.
Okay?
Congratulations.
And then, look, here's PJ. And then, hang on 1 second.
Squirrel.
You gonna go? Okay. So the
Sorry,
scenario
folks, that's
is
ADHD hyperactivity.
I graduated leadership 10 months, and we didn't try to sell each other anything.
Right.
We just became super close.
Like a family.
Like family, yeah.
Right. And we know we can call on one another because we did some stuff in leadership where you had to rely on the other person.
Right.
And that's so important.
What'd you guys do, the blind fall thing?
No, we just have...
Catch me? Yeah, the catch me, trust fall?
Yeah. We did stuff like that.
Okay.
But when you're in leadership, you do not discuss it with anybody except people who have been in leadership.
It's like Fight Club.
Because, the reason being, I thought it was kind of silly, but the reason being is because if you decide to do it, we want you to immerse yourself in the experience and get your own out of it.
Right.
Because there's 30 people a year that's picked to go into this program. And we all spoke about what we got out of it, and we all got something different out of it.
Right.
But we became good friends. Bill and his wife and me and my wife, we got together. We went out to dinner together. We're going to have a men's breakfast together, me and some of the guys. There's just a bunch of things that you get to do that you don't do in the normal days thing.
And where was the leadership?
This is Martin County.
Okay.
And it's...
With the chamber?
With the chamber.
Okay.
But you don't have to be in the chamber to be in it.
Right.
But it's through the chamber. And there's leaderships all over.
Right.
This is probably the most detailed leadership that you'll ever get into.
Okay.
And the first, I'm just going to tell you, so when you start this, there's 3.5 hours on a Friday night and the whole day on Saturday. After those 3.5 hours that first Friday night, I got in the car to go home. I called my wife and I said, there's 3.5 hours of my life I'll never get back. Thinking, I can't do this. And then she kind of talked me out and said, go with a different attitude. And I went the following Saturday, and it was great.
Right.
And it's one Thursday every month. But getting off of what that is, it was about leadership is about building relationships.
Right.
And networking is just very similar. This was like a networking thing that all 30 of us got together once a month for 8 to 10 hours.
Wow.
Right.
Okay, no cell phone. Okay, you just immerse yourself in wherever we were taken, and I think it's the way to connect.
Right.
On a different level than, hey, I sell video. Hey, I sell copiers. Hey, I sell insurance. Hey, I sell marketing.
So in other words, how can we connect if I can't help your business and help you monetize or help you make money? What else can I do for you? What other value do I add?
How can I be a good referral partner? That's one of my favorite questions to ask at a networking event when meeting someone. Instead of, what do you do? Or let me tell you about my business. Just ask them, what's a good referral for you? How can I help you?
Right.
And
what's your ideal client?
Don't go in with the mindset of, I want to just give you my business card and try to sell you on something. Try to help them first.
Yeah.
It can change your entire perspective of what you can get out of networking.
See, once you take the networking out of networking, it's great.
Yeah.
No, because that's. I mean, honestly, that's why it's Networthy.
I'm excited to see how tomorrow goes.
You're gonna love it.
I know one thing.
I'll give you a piggyback ride.
I know it's going to be hard.
I'd love to see that. I'll come just for that.
I know it's going to be hard breathing, depending on how humid it is for me.
Right, of course.
But I'm going to say, because I'm thinking about walking and things I do, I'm going to say that I probably won't notice after one lap that I'm in the second lap.
Let me tell you why we go at a very reasonable pace, because you cannot talk and walk fast. I don't want to be like, and while I'm trying to breathe and trying to talk to somebody. No, it doesn't work well. So we walk at a good pace, but we're able to do it where we can still communicate and talk without, choking to death.
Okay, just so you know, you three guys, if you're there and I'm having a hard time breathing, no mouth to mouth from you guys.
Oh, really?
Just saying.
Dang.
I'll
carry an AED, and then we'll just zap you. Be like, steer clear.
Desiree wants to know, Sammy, did you ride your Harley here?
Actually, the reason I'm in this gear is because I'm an American Legion rider. I'm a road captain for them. I'm also a past commander for the Sons of American Legion, and the red shirt actually is remember everyone deployed. We still have our veterans that are out there, and they're still not home. They're still out in the world dealing with all the stuff that they're dealing with. So every Friday is a Red Friday, which means anybody that knows military family, they all stop and take a moment to thank and pray for the ones that are still out there that aren't home. But no, the reason I dress like this is because this is normally what I wear when I ride my motorcycle. Thanks, but I had to get rid of them.
Light on at night.
Huh? Yeah.
You have your green light
oh
on at
man, I have my pipes are so loud that it literally will rock your back teeth. Only because for safety. Because down here, man, you are just a target. Is all it is when you're driving on the road.
My daughter wouldn't let me bring my bike from Jersey to here.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to buy another one probably, but I sold both of mine before I came down here because I was worried. It wasn't me. It's the people that have no insurance, people that are 112 years old, and then also the people that aren't texting, because that's what they want to do while they're driving.
I'm talking about the green light you put on your house at night for the the homeless veterans.
I don't have a green light because our condo complex won't let you do that.
I jumped off of the motorcycle scenario and went with the boat scenario.
Oh.
I think it's just a better way to go.
Best day and worst days when you get it, when you get rid of it.
Hobby, right?
But it's
happiest days when you get it. Happy day when you get rid of it.
Because there's tons of boat clubs.
Well, now you don't have to own it. You can just go rent it and jump on it.
The best boat to own is your best friends.
Well, you join a boat club. Jet Ride has no initiation.
Yeah.
And it's like $500 a month.
Yeah, they've called me like 5 times every day.
Okay. and
so the marketing's good.
You just go. If there's a boat, you just go and whatever. I have it a little easier because unlike you guys, I don't have to work Monday to Friday if I don't want to. So I can go when the people aren't using boats. But everything is just, you have to be so careful.
Right.
But you're right, because if you're networking, business should be an indirect benefit of your networking.
Agreed.
Okay? Connection should be the priority of networking. I think that if you can prioritize your networking to make a connection, then you're going to benefit.
Well, that's what he's talking about. If I can't connect with you, how can I still help
Connect
you?
Other people.
And be a referral partner, right? So I think what you're saying is right, absolutely. So the connection should be first, but then you're not going to connect with everybody. Right?
No.
Some people
Maybe you can just pick a handful each time that you go to the group.
I connect very few.
Maybe it's the type of group you're going to. That's the wonderful thing about the Treasure Coast.
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked about 3 or 4 different types of networking groups here, including sales training cage match, which Ben McKenna from Ridgecap and Leakbusters put together collaboratively. That's another type of networking, sort of indirect. Then there's speed networking. Then there's groups like Shameless Promotions and Muffins, which is round robin
Martini
networking.
Network.
There's Martini Network, which is more of that classical evening mixer style. So there's so many different types of networking.
You have the Realtors Association that's just built for realtors and loan officers. So
there literally is
You'll
50.
find the group for you. You just have to try to all the different groups.
And which one's going to be the best for
if you find
you
all
have
the groups,
luncheons.
you can't work.
Yeah, that was great if you're Republican.
You can't work. If you find all the groups, you can't work.
Right.
There's no time.
Well,
you go to all the stuff.
You can't.
I remember.
And it's addicting because, you go there and you see the people and you feel good about yourself.
Right.
And, and next thing you know, oh, that was a great meeting. And next thing you know, it's the end of the day and you've done nothing for yourself for business.
I'm deep rooted.
Get addicted to the spotlight.
Yes.
I'm deep rooted in Stuart Martin Chamber.
Notoriety.
And their networking. So in 4 years, I've missed 4 events. That's it.
Wow.
Okay? So I do all their breakfasts, I do all their lunches, and I do all their after hours. I missed 1 because I had a stroke. I missed 1 because I had the surgery. I missed 2 because I was sick.
That's pretty honorable.
But I don't miss any. It was so strange because I think it was, I don't know if it was after the stroke or after the surgery. Edgar was going to a place from the chamber. I didn't know it was ribbon cutting. I just thought we were going to go because he said, yeah, he was going to go there to take pictures. So I said, if you drive, I'll go. So we go together, and all of a sudden, everybody from the chamber comes. There's a ribbon cutting. So when I got home that night, I got a call from Joe, who's president of the chamber, and he said, do you have a death wish? Because I had just gotten out of, I don't know if it was surgery or the stroke.
The hospital, either way.
But
You're supposed to be relaxing and recuperating.
If there is no networking from the chamber, I go through withdrawals, okay? Because they don't ever have an event that follows a holiday. So if Monday is a holiday, there's no Tuesday breakfast, okay? So it's so tough for me because I do really well at the chamber. I do really well with their breakfast. Right. And I've made, you talk about why people network.
Right.
So I joined the Stuart Martin Chamber. I made a good money from it, but I've made 4 of the most amazing friends you could ever make. Right. And they're not friends. They're family.
See, that's the goal.
We call that family. Friends that become family.
Well, they're friends, it's like a family without any relatives.
Yeah.
Right.
So I went for Passover. I went to one of their houses. Okay. We had a pool party at another friend's house that we're close with. The 6 of us got together at Casa Amigas. Okay. It wasn't about buying anything or selling anything. It was about our friendship.
Fellowship.
Yep. When I had to go get surgery on my eye, they said to me, and I had to go all the way down to Jupiter. They said to me, do you need us to take you? Just like he said about a flat tire. It's not, if you make the business part your priority, then you totally miss out.
Hey, see if somebody, send out there and say, do anybody have questions that we can talk about?
I was going to say, I want to acknowledge the chat. So we have almost a dozen people joining us live. Thank you to everyone who's joined us. I think we've acknowledged everyone.
Hey, thank you guys.
Oksana, thank you for joining us.
Hey,
Alexander,
what's up?
Thank you for joining us.
See everybody tomorrow.
Yes, thank you for joining us, Tommy. We do have one question from Desiree. When is the next Port St. Lucie Business Club event? That's going to be a morning event. It's going to be on May 16th, which is a Thursday. It's at 7:45 a.m. at Golf Galaxy in Tradition. And then we're planning our next evening event.
Tell her where to go look at it so other people can see it too.
Yeah,
go to the events page.
Yeah, you can go in our group to the Port St. Lucie Business Club event section. You'll see all the details there. But if anyone has questions, put them in the chat.
Don't do what I did.
Hey, Tasha.
I went 2 weeks early to Golf Galaxy the first time, and I didn't understand why no one was
there. Did they give you free course?
They weren't even open.
It's a long drive to go.
Well, they're not getting free training then. But go back to the, and once again, everybody ask questions on anything about networking, and we'll see what everybody's opinions are. But let's go back, and I want to make sure we individually answer what it is you look in, and how would you best say for people to look at all the networks that they can go to and look at what they want for themselves, how to best do it for themselves as far as to get the best
attitude to go to.
Well, and the time, so that you make sure you're investing your time in the right groups.
That's good. Yeah, I'll quickly answer that. So my tips would be, number one, go to different groups. like I said, the different types of groups. When you go, don't just take your business card and shove it in someone's face. Try to ask questions about them. Then my other tip, this is really important, do a follow-up. Do a follow-up via video, via messenger, via audio, if you want to do iMessage. Try to do some type of follow-up that's not just an email, that's a big formal email. That's going to make such a difference. And my final tip is take photos when you're at these events.
Absolutely.
That's something I learned from Dawn Cushing. When I got started networking here on the Treasure Coast, I noticed she was taking pictures of everyone and everything. I didn't really understand it, but now I start to get it. You have to take photos because it's beneficial for you and for the person who's in your photos, and then share them. It's going to help expand both of your networks.
Well, and also for people that weren't able to make it, they can see it, or people that haven't gotten involved yet.
There's nothing like abusing people. Hey, look what you missed. Hey,
Right.
silly you. Look what you missed.
Yeah. So what's your thoughts on that as far as what would be your advice to tell people?
So it's funny because when I first started marketing, I asked the same question to people, and most of people's response was, whichever one's the most profitable for you. And I found that to be true and not true, So it's like I go to the events that I see people supporting other people. I go to the events where I feel like I don't know. It depends on what's going on. There's so many different moving parts to which events to go to, but I would say definitely profitability will be one of them.
But not only money profitable.
No, right. It's not just the monetary up front, right? So, who did you connect with? How did you connect with them? Who's supporting you? Who are you supporting? So I like to go to events that people are supporting people in the community, ones that align with the times I can get out.
And also, how many people have you met, the key people that you met, that you didn't sell them anything?
No.
But because you knew them and you fellowshipped with them, it got you into other environments and other relationships.
Exactly.
When we were walking, and some guy stops to take a picture, and he just moved here, and now all of a sudden he's friends with Nick and me and everybody else,
right.
And there was a relationship that built because we were out there networking, but not necessarily selling.
Desiree wants to know, Z, when is your next event?
Magnum Motivational next event is May the 13th. Everyone knows. I've heard the complaints at 7:30 a.m. on a Monday. What do you know?
It's worth it. Do it.
Yeah,
the incoming leader, Tiffany Everett, she's thinking about making some adjustments. So make sure you guys reach out to her and let her know maybe to adjust the times or something. But we want to make sure it's comfortable and everybody is able to come. So we're hearing what you all are saying. We're taking it in consideration.
To me, if you get in
May
early,
13th, 7:30, we have creative charcuterie boards. She's going to be
keynote speaker.
No, she's not going to be the keynote speaker. She's going to be providing the breakfast
nice.
charcuterie board. So make sure you come out for that. It's $10. Everyone knows that. We have a speaker sponsor, Mr. Z-Rocks, to come and tell us why you should definitely have the type of machines that are suitable for your business.
We're getting lots of comments and feedback.
So,
Alex wants to know if anyone's going to the Pueblo Viejo 3 p.m. networking today.
Yes, I am.
So
we are all going to go.
Yes, absolutely.
For anyone who's not aware of that,
that is Si, Senor.
It's being put on by Brian Brackeen. It's going to be at 3 p.m. today at Pueblo Viejo at Port St. Lucie, which is 291 Southwest Port St. Lucie Boulevard. I believe it's free. It's going from 3 to 4 or 3 to 5. So come on out and support Brian. It's a new type of event, so you want to be there for that.
Yeah, come out and show your support for sure, because that's important.
I want to say one more thing about when you look at what networking events to go to. Also look for networking events where you're being pushed to be a better person, right? A better businessman, a better businesswoman, a better business person in general, and people are educating you on things like that, not just selling their product. And I think that component Nick's trying to bring, like just the fact that he has the different photo booths and the 360, that element just brings a different vibe.
It enriches your life.
Right. So
no, but you go there because you enrich your life. You become a better person.
I enriched Nick's life because he was laying out tons and tons of money for this event, and it gets pricey.
Yeah.
So I yelled at him. I said, you need to start charging.
Right.
You hear that, everybody? Now you know when you have to pay $10, you can thank Wayne.
Yeah, but it's not. You just have to pay $10 because you're getting a drink.
Right.
Yes.
You got
try
food.
To deliver more than $10.
It's not like
you get a lot more value.
And it allows you to make your events that much better.
Right.
Okay. And to keep events going, it's
and it also helps subsidize our morning events, which we keep free. So we purposely keep the morning events for free. We're going to try to do that forever, and then we have our $5 for the evening event, where you get a drink ticket.
How much?
Appetizer, or $10 for our evening events. You get the
Don't
drink
make me
ticket.
yell at you.
No.
$20, $25.
No.
Can I get 30, 35, 5?
Also, mention Weir Vero, which is also Weir Vero.
Steve.
People don't know it's like a hidden gem because it's in Vero and people aren't willing to travel. But if you're willing to travel, it's worth the time. And
it's a luncheon.
It's
so
a luncheon, right?
So
So
let's
$20,
get a bus.
you get a full buffet from the Italian Legion American Association. So
Wow.
I support it. Wayne, you've come many times.
Steve supports almost everything I do.
Yes.
It's hard for me to get away from here to get up there, but and when I have a free Wednesday, I get my car and I get my butt up there to support.
And it's every Wednesday, so you can't miss it. Every Wednesday, 12 o'clock. 11:45, and you're there for about an hour. It's also a smaller, intimate event,
right?
So you're able to mingle a little bit more and
but
get
it
to
has
know
good
people.
food.
So
I'll get a school bus maybe and see if we can get everybody on the bus.
idea.
Take them up.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes I try to. I've carpooled up there with other people.
Yeah.
At times
I
because
think Don a couple times, maybe, or no? Was that you that carpooled? Later?
no, I carpooled with somebody who no longer networks.
Okay.
We used to carpool a couple times when we went up there, but I mean, networking is so important.
It
for
works.
so many reasons.
It works.
And I hate to say it, but you said go and see what you can learn from somebody else, which is the key factor in why would you want to go to a networking event that's a one-off that you can't hear what other people in your field do. And we coined the phrase co-opetition. So if someone's in your field doing what you do, and they're nice people and they're good people, you can't be everywhere.
Right.
Okay? If you're a photographer and you have a wedding to cover on a Saturday, June 5th, and then someone else calls you for a wedding, what do you do?
Right.
Well, you can either help them out and give it to somebody, because at some point in time that person will give it back to you. You can talk about different equipment, different cameras. You can't do that if you're the only one in the group. You can't learn anything about your own business. And surely you don't know everything about your business. I'm doing this 35 years, and I learn something new every day. And I'm blessed to have Edgar, because technology-wise, he's the person that makes this all come together. But you have to have other people. It takes a village to run a networking event. Thank God for your wife.
Yeah.
And other people that helped out.
Team.
Okay? I mean, this Magnum, he's not the only person there doing everything. You have other people helping out.
Absolutely.
James was helping out. Okay?
Yeah.
It takes a village.
Absolutely.
Okay? We're here, and this little piece that we're doing now is just really kind of telling you, people who network constantly, what's out there, how to deal with it, in our opinion. And it doesn't have to work for everybody.
As a matter of fact, when I started Magnum, I'm sorry to interrupt, just to piggyback off what you're saying, when I started Magnum, I specifically told Don, I don't want to run this by myself. I want to build a team, a successful team, and we've been able to do that. Because leadership is changing, obviously the team may change and do things like that, but you're right, you have to work together.
Yeah.
Collaboration over competition every day. I do not like the word competition. I think it's a fallacy. At the end of the day, I think it's created to bring us against each other.
Yeah.
Instead of being with each other and collaborating. I'm not a really big fan of competition. I'm just not. Never really have been, because I'm like, we're more powerful together. So.
And I mean, I totally agree. Look, I have a brother who's 2 years older than me, so I guess you have to have that competition as family.
If we're in a basketball court, then we're going to be competing.
Yeah. So that's why we call it the co-opetition.
Right,
because if you're on a basketball court, and you're competing against one another, but you still like one another.
Right.
It's not like, hey, we're here to win the game.
Right.
But you know what? When we're done with the game, we're going to go out and have a beer. We're going to go and talk to one another.
So we did it in rugby.
Okay.
We have a question
Rugby?
from Jose.
I played rugby. I played semi-pro rugby for Asheville Iguanas.
The hell's rugby?
Rugby?
This man is like the jack of all trades.
You talking about rugby? You've never
No,
played
I know.
rugby?
No, I didn't play.
It's
Never played
it's
rugby.
Australian
The Harry
football,
Potter
mate.
game?
No, that's Quidditch.
We have a question.
Follow this guy. We're going to learn everything.
This is a good question for you, Wayne, because I think we covered some of this. So, Jose, thank you for joining us. Jose wants to know, what are your top 3 tips for someone who has never been to a networking event?
So, the first tip I would give you is connect with someone who's been to a networking event.
Right.
So whether it be any of us, Dawn, even me who's been to events, when I was up here, Dawn and I connected, and I dragged her to events, she dragged me to events.
Right.
Always good to, it's always best if you can go with somebody because they know other people and you won't feel like you're alone out there. Yeah. That would be the first thing. Second thing is, don't let the price of an event turn you off about going to that event. Right. Okay? Because if you're not going to something, I go to something, I pay, I go to an event, a lot actually, I pay, and I don't eat any of the food, I don't drink anything, I don't go for that. I go to support that group and to deal with my friends in that group because I don't really do a lot of business out of that group. So don't look at the price or the cost of what you're getting, okay? Because that's not your ROI here. Your ROI is what you get out of it over and above the foods and stuff. So that would be my third tip is get there early. If it starts at 7:45, be there at 7:30. Yeah. If it starts at 7:45 and you get there at 7:45, you're late. Right. That's the philosophy of a good business person. If your meeting is at 10 and you get there at 10, you're late. Yeah. So you never ever want to be late. Especially the formal events where you're sitting down at a table because you can't really do the networking. Right. Right. Those would be my 3.
Well, I've got something to add to that as well.
No one asked you.
Well, yeah. I'm just saying, make sure, though, you don't prejudge a group because people will talk and say and have their opinions about stuff. And you may, because I've had this happen a couple of times where somebody said something. I think, you know what? I want to go and just see myself. Right. And because when I got there, it was whatever problem that somebody has with somebody or whatever, I don't want you to taint it. Go and judge for yourself. Judge for yourself if it's good for you or not good for you. That way you don't keep yourself out of something that could be a positive influence on you.
You mean it felt like high school?
Kind of, yeah.
And stay out of the drama.
Oh, please.
Yes.
Stay out of the drama.
No drama, mama.
And it follows you, so you have to walk in the other direction.
Yes.
Yeah.
Again, I sit on boards, and you see some drama there. In networking, you see some drama. Stay out of the drama. It doesn't pay.
Amen.
Okay?
It's just going to complicate your life. Any other questions?
We have about 5 minutes left. We don't have a question, but we have a good comment from Danny. He shared some tips.
Where are you?
Yeah, get in.
That's
Danny.
my tip for Danny. Where the hell are you?
Danny,
Ask business owners, what
do
they do? Why do they do it? What ignites them for choosing their profession? That's a great tip from Danny. He says, invite power partners. For example, I invite CPAs and event planning attorneys. I want to bring value to them first. Great ideas from Danny. And also, Alex, thank you for sharing this live throughout several groups, which he just did. And Alex also wants to mention the Elks Club. He says that's good. It's the first and third Friday morning.
No, we don't talk about that.
No?
Nope.
That's not
Don't
one?
talk about that event. Too much drama at
I'm
that
not
event.
aware of that one. So
Well, I'm just saying.
which one that is.
I've been there. Too much drama.
Yeah.
Okay?
Gotta stay focused.
Maybe that's why I haven't heard about that one.
So let me ask you guys a question. We talked about profitability, and you asked me what's the benefit of going to one. I said being profitable. Mm-hmm. What is your definition of being profitable? Let's dissect. Can we dissect that for 1 second?
And you surely will appreciate this because of the way you run your thing. Right. If I walk out of an event and I made a friend, I made a connection, didn't make any sales, that was profitable for me. Okay.
I think it's important for us to dissect that for the viewers because when people say, oh, well, it's not about making money, but then you said we should be profitable if we go, I just want to make sure we're on the same page of what profitability
they
means
can
to everybody.
coexist.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, we all need to pay bills. We all need to do those things. But I make money as an indirect benefit of doing what I love. Right. Okay? And to be rich is different for everybody. Mm-hmm. Some people have to drive a Mercedes. Some people drive an old car with cracked windshield. Me. Okay? That doesn't make you rich or poor because you take one of the richest men ever, which was Sam Walton, and he drove an old truck. Okay?
Right. So I think that is what I'm saying. Just want to hear everybody. What is your profitability? What's your definition of profitability?
I go into networking events with zero expectations, and it just always seems to work out. So I would say profitability is, to me, is the what's the word for it? The social equity that you can build up in the community, and you do that by helping others, by connecting other people, by seeing how you can give them words of encouragement or referrals. And I think if you build up that social equity, eventually
that's going to come back.
The profitability will come back to you, but you just can't go into a networking meeting or a group with the expectation to make direct sales out of that meeting, because that's
I think that's off-putting when you do.
It is.
Yeah. I think if you go in there as a car salesman saying today and today only, hey, I can get your number, hey, I'm going to give you a call, I think that's off-putting versus, once again, socializing. That's why I love the networking, because nobody can carry business cards because they're in their workout clothes. You know what I'm saying? So
I can wear a jacket and tie.
I know.
So what's profitability for you?
Profitability to me would be relationships you build. Because like I've gotten so close to these guys here, and I absolutely it's crazy for me, because to me this is so profitable, just knowing the people and being able to share and learn from each other. And to me, I think that's as valuable as it can be. The money and all that and the sales will come, but this stuff will last forever. You know what I'm saying? And that's the difference for me. Because the relationship I got with you, with all the tribulations you went through, my dad, everybody was stood behind me with my dad and still dealing with my dad, that you can't get that from everywhere.
It was profitable to you because he bought you breakfast. So it's really profitable to you.
That was
I told you
profitable.
Food does it.
Yeah. Well, I didn't make profit, though. I just got a free sandwich.
Everybody, we're coming to the top of our time.
Oh, sorry, guys.
That we want to thank everybody who came on, I guess.
Yeah, thank you.
Networking.
Networking tomorrow.
8 a.m.
8 a.m. at
Panera Bread parking lot. You'll see me at Big and Goofy, and you'll see all everybody here probably. You coming tomorrow? Oh,
he said if I go, he probably will go.
I do run another group called TC Millennial Social Club. So if you're looking for just social events, hanging out, meet and greets, we don't talk about business. I guess at the end of the night, after a few drinks, maybe we do. But it's just a social club. TC Millennial Social Club on Facebook. Magna Motivational Group on Facebook. Tomorrow, I don't know.
Oh, make a commitment.
I'm making a commitment that I will come if I can.
You'll definitely consider it.
If I'm making a commitment. Okay, you should.
Okay. Let me hear you commit that to next time you're going to have it in Fort Pierce.
Ooh.
Have the wall?
Have one in Fort Pierce.
If you can find a good spot. Yeah, we're actually talking about once we get a regular good set of people that are coming, we absolutely will change the venue and go to different places to walk.
I'm 30, 40 minutes away every Saturday morning.
Fort Pierce?
Yeah.
I'm one exit away from Fort Pierce.
So I'm about 15 to 20 minutes from
I'm going to say 40 minutes.
Because I'm in
changed
Iris.
a lot.
Okay, well, yeah. You got to
40
estimate a little
15, 20 minutes went to 40. I was like, okay, come on, man. You where I could be in 40 minutes.
Inflation is real, so we inflate numbers when it makes sense, okay?
And traffic is inflated. Exactly. All right, we got to get
Not
out
at that time of the morning.
Thank you.
Hey, God bless you. Lift everybody up. Be kind.
Bye, guys.